Burning bridges is my specialty. Dating dads is my fatality.
I'm a Broadway bear, and I'm here to take center stage. Hello!
I'm Hunter Harden.
And I'm Papa the Bear. And welcome to the Real Housebears. Dead air.
I don't talk to me like, I don't like you talking at me like that. Don't talk at me like that. Ew, this is, I'm just gonna sit here. I don't really want to participate in anything right now. So.
But Mary, we want to.
Excuse me, who's talking to you? Like, who's talking to you in the first place? Like, can you be quiet, please?
Listeners don't like silence on the air.
Oof. I don't know what kind of people listen to this.
Listen to this what?
Don't try to put words in my mouth. That's the one thing that I'm not going to let you do. The only person that puts words in my mouth is the guy higher above me, right here, right up there, right past your iridescent lighting.
Oh, no, I know. It's the worst.
Gross. But, I go to places that serve Dom Perignon. I don't know what this is. What is this? A Reese's? What's a Reese's?
It's a Monster Energy drink.
It's disgusting, and I don't do this kind of stuff. But please take me to McDonald's to eat.
I heard that gone.
Podcasts.
See, you didn't need me here. I was completely disengaged as Mary Cosby.
Ew! Right out the gate. We are sassy.
If I knew who you were right away. That is hysterical.
And if you don't want dead air and you want to see something gorgeous, like my hair,
your hair
and
is
this
looking
face,
good.
and this beard, and this chest fur, because I'm wearing plaid and I can't button it because I'm swole, bitch. So you can go to our YouTube or Spotify and watch us live on air. No, just kidding. Just so you can watch us.
You can watch us, and you're going to be able to watch us a whole heck of a lot in the next week.
I hope so.
Yeah, even though this week's episode is out quite a bit later
Very
than we
late.
used.
Oh my gosh, everyone's
But
yelling.
we were on vacation, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But because this episode is coming out late, all within 1 week, you get this week's RHONY and Salt Lake City recap. And then next week, in just a few days, we are going to be interviewing Mr. Abe Leakey, a Real House husband of New York.
What? This is Aaron's husband.
Yes, and he has been just the nicest, most generous guy to chat with.
He literally listens to us. Because he has messaged us back on stuff that we said.
I said it to Abe, and I'll say it to anyone else. The only thing that we love as much as a housewife is a house husband.
I know you love meat in Utah.
You know what I'm saying? And so we're really excited. So that interview will come out very early next week, probably Tuesday.
Because there's no sound bites to put in there.
Yeah, it's just going to be an awesome hanging out with the guys.
Word.
And then you will have next week's RHONY and Salt Lake City recaps on time, hopefully.
Yes.
Crossing our fingers.
So y'all are going to get a lot of us.
You are going to be inundated with Housebears over the next week.
You're going to be so house beared out.
We love it.
But you're going to want more.
Yeah, you're going to be Housebeared in.
Yes, house beared in.
So we are in the hot closet a little bit late this week because we just got back from Orlando, Florida.
I would like to... You know who is a Real House Bears famous this week is our friends Richter and Andrew from Orlando.
Absolutely.
That gave us the most amazing trip and adventure at Universal Studios because they both work there. And we had so much fun with them, and they gave us such an amazing trip.
Yes, you really need to check out our social media because, first of all, we were there for World Bear Weekend.
couple days before.
Which is always a great event. We had a great time. And then one day while we were wasting time, we went to this real swanky mall. And
super swanky.
Like Hunter dressed like a complete slut, like practically wearing Doritos over his nipples and a pasty over his crotch.
That's too much. That was too much clothing. That's too much covering me.
Hey, it's humid in Florida.
It was very humid.
But nonetheless, even though we were totally Julia Robertsing it, we went into the Louis Vuitton store, and I got to take a video of my Louis Vuitton purse purchase. You guys, I'm in this mall in Orlando, and there's all these wealthy people here, and so I came into the Louis Vuitton store.
You saw all those people after you made that video went over and sanitized the hell out of it.
Right.
They were like spraying behind us.
What is those little brown curly hairs all over it?
Yeah. I saw security following us out. We did not belong there.
And Monica loved it, reposted it.
Like we said, we love the Housewives and how ridiculous people can be sometimes.
Yes.
It's a celebrate your life. Like Tom Schwartz is right now with his podcast
I do
celebrating
not
himself,
want
which is ridiculous.
to give him any air. That piece of trash. Garbage. He's garbage.
Yeah, garbage.
And then again, we had 2 awesome days at Universal Studios.
So much fun.
So, especially with 2 wonderful hosts. And one of them that we were with, Andrew, he actually is one of the puppeteers for the dinosaurs.
The Raptor Experience.
And the Raptor Experience, yes.
So he got us to cut right through the line, and he actually knew the person that was, I don't know, probably knew the person puppeteering and the person giving the lady ushering us through. It was a lot of fun, and I watched the people go before, and I saw the tricks and stuff. I'm like, oh, when they turn around, it's gonna jump at you and stuff, blah blah. So I was acting like, oh, I'm like, I got this. And in the video, I don't got this because it peeked its head, and I caught it right out of the periphery of my eye, and I screamed so loud. And this is the prime example. I call Bear my startle bear. I have to announce myself through the house constantly because if I come around the corner too quickly, he will jump like one of those scaredy cats that jumps and claws into the ceiling, and he will tremble. But you could see in that video, he trembles because of my scream, nothing else. But he still tries to save me.
But all of our faithful Housewives listeners have liked that. Heather Gay commented directly on yours, but Bryn Whitfield liked it, Abe liked it, Frank Catania, of course, liked it. It's really funny. So check out our social medias because both of those, I think, are some of our shining social media moments.
Shining moments.
Not that we have a lot of great
But I just wanted to prove to everybody that we were there. And we saw real dinosaurs.
Real dinosaurs.
Real dinosaur.
Real dinosaurs. And so then a kind of a funny story on the way home, on the flight home, we have someone new this week who is hashtag Housebears famous. We don't know this person's name, so
I'm going
I
to call her Lady on the Plane.
Lady on the Plane.
The Lady
on the Plane. I don't know if you're listening, but on the way home, I was wearing my Real Housebears podcast t-shirt, as I do when I fly.
And she's like, oh, that's cute.
She's like, well, I love that. And I was like, oh, do you watch the shows? She's like, oh, I watch all of them. And I was like, well, listen to our podcast. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll check it out. I was like, do you watch Salt Lake City? And she said, yeah, I watch all of them. And I was like, well, I'm Heather Gay's choir director.
And she goes, shut up. Shut up. Nuh-uh. No, you're not.
I was like, yeah, I'm Corey, yeah.
She's like, shut up. It was so funny. She did not believe you. And I really hope that she went back and rewatched those episodes or is listening right now.
Yeah, so we actually had lots of people who commented and messaged us about the videos and different things. So I thought it would, hopefully maybe she took our advice and is listening.
That was so fun.
Oh, I love that.
Well, if she wouldn't listen, if she's not listening, it would totally be a drag.
And don't be a drag.
No, don't be a drag. Make sure you're listening.
Don't be a drag. Be a queen.
Don't be a drag. Just be a queen.
Girl, yes.
I don't need to see Heather throwing up anymore.
you guys.
So can we just skip past this? And I don't think she was peeing on the bus. I think there is water or something between her leg that she either crushed, because it came out in like a flow real quick and then it trickled. So I feel like it was water.
Either way,
water bottle between her legs.
Either way,
I don't want to hear.
I
or
had
see.
issues getting a sound bite that was around that time, so I kept having to rewind it and see it over. Poor Whitney trying to escape that van over, and it was like a nightmare on Groundhog Day.
I couldn't be in the room because I was gagging from the gagging noises.
No, it was disgusting. We're no more.
No
of that.
more.
No
So
more of
Palm
that.
Springs, day 2.
Trixie Motel. All the ladies receive a text, meet at the pool and wear your t-shirts.
Dun dun dun.
From Meredith. So we have a quick moment of Monica talking to, really getting her oldest daughter to be the adult while she's gone, which I have a feeling the oldest daughter already is the adult even when Monica's there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But the youngest daughter clearly not missing mom at all.
She's upset, but not about mom being gone.
No.
Little brat.
Meredith is eating caviar for breakfast.
Caviar for breakfast?
I mean, great product placement, Mare.
I love that the polar opposites of New York and Utah ladies, because like they talk about like don't be a social climber, and then on this one they're like, I'm wearing this, this, and this, and I eat this, this, and this,
Right.
and I shop at this, this, and this. I'm like, dude, Utah is such a label whore.
I mean, Utah is so unique. It's so
I'm
unique.
eating caviar for breakfast.
But I
That's
mean,
what
she's
I
coming
do.
out with a caviar line, so that's smart.
Is she really?
Yes.
Y'all, rich people are
Yes.
getting richer,
So,
man.
Good product placement. So Whitney texts Heather. She's puking and rallying.
Ugh, boot and rally, boot and rally. Gross, gross, gross.
So Angie K brings a plain white T-shirt to David, the hotel manager, who was also
David.
Trixie's partner or husband. I'm not sure
David.
which. David.
David.
And she requests a Sharpie to make her own shirt since she was included. But he shades her so well. He's like, oh, that's so sad. You're making your own shirt.
That's an issue with like how people think gays are just really petty, but that's just how we talk to each other. Like that's not us being a dick. It's just that is sad. Oh, that sucks. It's not being like a mean.
Well, Lisa Barlow goes over to Whitney's room and they recap last night. And Lisa's like, listen, Angie K went in hard. But Whitney's like, but what about Meredith, who is always deflecting when she's acting poorly?
Weaponizing things to people. I have a rumor.
So we did find out that this disabled child reference, I thought she had just like seen a Sally Struthers commercial. Like I had no idea.
There are children who are going to be disabled for the rest of their lives, and you know what? I'm not doing it.
But it actually is a nephew, I think, that has some sort of debilitating disorder or disease.
I can't figure out if it's the nephew that tried to commit suicide or if it's somebody else.
It could be because the damage he did to it, because he drank bleach, remember?
Yeah, so I don't
be.
know where she's going on both of them, but either way, she's traumatized by it.
But in addition, it's kind of recapping what we've already talked about, because Whitney's like, Meredith always deflects, and then Lisa's saying yet again, I'm trying to start fresh with Meredith, but then I saw her once again going, oh well, you made me mad, I've got stuff on you.
No, if I want to go for the jugular and talk about the rumors and nastiness about her, well, I can do that. Do you know what? You want me to go there with her husband? I can go there.
Right.
That I can see you.
And then Monica goes to Meredith's room and practically crawls right up her butt as soon as she gets in there.
Monica's doing it great. She's doing great.
You know what? I'm like, people on social media almost immediately like her.
I like her too.
It's wild because, most people would react pretty largely to a woman who is being so open. Some people say she's proud of her affair. I'm like, I don't think she's proud of her affair. I think she's owning her past.
Yeah, you own your past, you move on.
So people generally like her for just being so forthright.
Yeah, she's because you don't really see that a lot of times, especially with infidelity. That comes out much later, and it's like spilled out.
Yeah, like
and
Jennifer
it's dirty.
Aniston.
Yeah.
Well, Meredith thanks Monica for being supportive last night, especially since Angie K is supposedly Monica's friend. And Monica's like, listen, I am not going to defend Angie K. There's nothing to defend about her right now. I ain't going to do it.
Okay, I can't. Drunk Drawn has ruined me. Do you guys know who Drunk Drawn is on social media?
If you don't follow Drunk Drawn on Instagram, make sure you follow Drunk, D-R-U-N-K, Drawn, D-R-A-W-N on Instagram.
So he randomly has started drawing Angie K.
No, it's they. I don't know if it's
They.
he.
I don't know. I can't. Anyways,
Actually, I believe it's the opposite. But either way,
they draw Angie K with just one big eye, like
one
a
big cyclops eye.
One big cyclops. And at first I was like, "Y'all, that's exaggeration. That's crazy." I can't look at her now without seeing just one big eye on her middle of her
Drunk
forehead.
Drawn has ruined my sight.
Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to squint to make out two eyes, and that's why she has two eyes on the
Yeah,
screen.
it's like my
but
eyes-
like if I unsquint, I know there's going to be one big
It's
eye.
like when you look at those like things that have all the colors that
Like
you're supposed
3D
to see through.
pictures, yeah.
Yes, that's what I feel like when I'm looking at Angie K. Like I'm supposed to see one eyeball in the middle of her head, but my eyes must be crossed because I see two.
I just can't. Drunk Drawn, you have ruined me. I cannot look at Angie without seeing one big eye. She needs to go back to Clash of the Titans and fight, girl.
I mean, one of my biggest honors in life was when I found out that I was drunk drawn.
I mean, that's a pretty big honor.
I was like, I can't believe I've been drunk.
It's a
drawn.
pretty big honor.
Shout out to my friend Emily who pointed that out to me. Anyhow, Monica doesn't understand the beef between Meredith and Angie K. And to be honest with you, I don't either. Is it really just simply that Angie K. said some crappy things at the reunion last season and then just showed up uninvited? Is that really all of this is about?
I think so.
Because Meredith is really, I mean, they're really aggressive towards each other. Like, it's intense.
I know. And Angie's like, are you going to be passive aggressive and not give me a shirt? I'm like, girl, you jumped into this party. Nobody knew you were coming. How was she supposed to have a shirt for you?
You know, I was probably going to talk about this later, but I'm going to go ahead and say it now since we're talking about it. How would I kind of feel bad for Angie K, even though I can't defend at all how she's behaving. Not at all. She's acting like a maniac. But how would you like to be the new girl, your first season as a full-time cast member and not being invited on the first cast trip?
Yeah, I would totally crash it, but I wouldn't be a bitch.
I love you too.
Yeah, I mean, she's making no efforts to bridge any gaps.
Any gap. She's just being rude.
But she is acting out very immaturely, but I can kind of see through it. You know, I guess it's the teacher in me, I don't know.
I mean, speaking of Angie and speaking of drunk drawing, she walks out with her drunk drawn shirt from Circle Kmart that she made.
It's custom.
So all the other ladies have all trust, no tricks. And Angie K's child-written one says, no trust, all tricks. Again, I even wrote down, Angie K is not even trying to make peace.
It's just she's trying so hard to make conflict.
It was either make this t-shirt or call a hit out on our family.
Luckily, they have a new Sprinter van.
Thank God.
After apparently the women failed their test last night. You know, with every espresso martini, it was a test. Mm-hmm. Heather seeing what kind of friends she had, and it turns out they're all horrible friends.
They all left her in the van to throw up.
So none of this would have happened if they were better friends. Right?
They obviously failed me.
So we get to this trust building exercise in the park, and she's not sure about this. She's like, I'm not standing in the park in the rain. I'm not a soccer mom.
I've already done that. I'm like, honey, you've never done that.
I mean, she has like 83 different excuses. She's going to stand in the park in the rain. She knows who to trust already and who not to trust. She's not ready to take steps with anyone in this group so far. Like, I'm so tired of seeing in the Bravo Facebook groups, why is Mary here? Why is Mary here? She is here to do this. Yeah. She is here to do this. Never let Mary off the show. Keep her on the show for eternity and ensure that you keep doing activities that she has no interest in doing. Please. Because I mean, it could be a short little YouTube series of what Mary is doing in the Sprinter van while the other women are doing their activities. That's why Mary's on the show, is to do nothing and make that check.
And the choir sings, amen.
Being a choir director, you get to listen to people sing at you.
Amen. I feel.
That was good. I mean, it's true. Like, Mary's a very she's needs to be a part of the show. She's like a cog that is part of this that has to be there.
She's kind of like a one-person Greek chorus.
Oh, yeah.
She's just standing by herself and commenting.
She's those two old men standing in the attic.
She's asking the important questions, like, why does this sign say humps instead of bumps? You know, the important questions in life.
Because it's not a bump, it's a hump. It's like literally a big hump. It's not like a speed bump, it's a hump.
Well,
it's one of those long
I think it's a question for Confucius. So Cliff, the trust building guy, I don't know.
Good luck, brother.
Yes. So they get the red ball, the yellow ball, and the green ball. The red ball, what do you want to stop doing in the group? And Lisa says, we need to stop talking about each other's business. Quit talking about your business. The yellow ball, Heather, what do we need to be cautious about? And Heather says that we need to be more receptive and less competitive.
I just wrote down, I love how hypocritical this whole class is.
I know, it's incredible. And then Meredith, what do we want to go for and head towards? To treat each other with kindness and respect.
Amen. I mean, let's do
pretty
this.
Generic.
People, let's go. High five. Teamwork makes us grow.
Treating each other with kindness and respect should just be something we do. You know? In general.
You can leave.
So then they do the minefield where they have to walk each other through this minefield blindfolded while the other one just tells them where to step. Mm-hmm. The women really only care about how they decide who wins. Like, we don't care what kind of lessons we learn from this stupid game. We want to know who wins. Heather Gay, bless her heart, she cannot win a single competition on this show. She's probably the most competitive person in the cast, and she has not won a single competition yet, whether it's skiing or trust building, fight, drag, you name it.
I mean, these girls don't play.
Poor Heather. But Whitney, is it Whitney and Meredith that get through first, I think?
I don't know. I have no idea. All I see, this whole thing is full of red flags.
But Angie, Kay, and Heather are getting along.
They're having fun.
And at the end, they seem to have gotten the most out of this.
Well, to be honest with you, Heather's super hungover and she's blindfolded. She probably doesn't even know it's Angie.
She's like, wait, she looks like she has two eyes. Wait a minute.
You can't do stuff like that. Oh my gosh, I need a drink. Oh my God.
I'm leaving that totally in.
Oh, it made my eyes water. That hurt. That hurt. That laugh came out real hard.
Surprise!
Well, 1 hour later, the women join Mary back on the bus. And Mary's like, you know, Mary, it would have been really nice if you'd have just joined us. This was so that we could get closer. And Mary's like, first of all, I've told you already, I don't want to get closer to anyone. And then Lisa tries to jump into the conversation, and Mary shuts her down. Right? Mary's like, yesterday she's like, Angie K, don't talk to me that way. Today she's like, Lisa Butler, do you ever shut up?
Like, do you have a mute button? No, I don't. Well, you need to get one. I'm on play all the time.
Mary is the judge, jury, and executioner in her life. And there ain't no, what are you going to tell her? No. Or what? No.
And what do you say back to her?
You can't.
Well, what Whitney does is like, well, Mary, why do you even get on the van? Like, if you're not going to participate, why don't you just stay back at the house? And Mary's like, well, don't ask me questions. Little girl.
Oh my gosh, I can't handle this. This is too much. Because earlier, Mary's like talking to herself, like, why do they have to do this field activity out here? Couldn't they do it more luxurious area? And I was like where? Like Kentucky Derby or something? Like a field, or like the Vatican parking lot? I don't know. Like, what does that mean?
The Vatican parking lot. That's probably a good place to have it.
I just can't handle Mary. Mary is so hilarious in this. She will have no ifs, buts, or whats, or anything in her life. It's hilarious.
Back at the Trixie Motel, there's quite a spread. There's like they're being fed. They are
Charcuterie
being
board
fed.
is out, you
Yes,
guys.
I wrote it too. Of course, it's a charcuterie board.
Oh my gosh, where's my triangle?
But Mary doesn't want any of those. Mary is not interested in a single grape or piece of cheese on this charcuterie board. So Whitney announces that she's taken over. She wants to have fun tonight.
Like, literally, before Meredith can even finish, like, Whitney's like, I'm going to take over.
I mean, and she couldn't have found a much more offensive way to say, I want to have fun tonight.
I'm taking over because I'm bored.
And we will if I take over.
Whitney, communication. Communication is what you need to work on.
So Trixie's coming back. They're all going to get makeup free. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Red flags everywhere.
And have a drag-inspired makeup competition that Trixie will judge. Well,
Instantly. Lisa is going to have a complete meltdown.
she is like, I will wear a bikini to a 5-star restaurant, but I will not be on camera without makeup. No, ma'am.
Lisa's like, I flew my glam squad down here. Further proving Monica's point of how tone deaf she is and how she only speaks about the amount of money she is spending and what she has, because she has a price for. She's like, I paid Morgan $2,500 plus the flight to come down here.
She's like, I spend $60,000 a year on glam just so I can go to the grocery store and make up y'all.
I spend on average $60,000 a year on glam. I get my makeup done daily. My makeup artist is on retainer. And it's not just when I'm on girls' trips and it's not when I'm hanging out. It's for me to go to the grocery store.
Lisa.
It's so good. But you know what she always does to fix the problem? Call John. Just call poor John Barlow. John, you know I hate theme stuff. This is like us on Survivor right here. I can't wear my makeup on camera. What? Nope. Nope.
I have to go, like, out there. There's sun out there. There's no shade, though.
Call Will, the producer, right now.
She breaks the fourth wall. So, the fourth wall means nothing in these shows anymore.
They tear down production practically because Lisa Barlow is going on a rampage.
Because she has to get out of makeup and into drag makeup.
But even Will, the producer, is not good enough. We got to call in Lori, the executive producer, now. She's like, listen, y'all, have feelings about what I'm going through. And Lori's like, we always have feelings for what you crazy bitches are telling.
She literally says, Lisa tells the producer, like, I need you to relate to me right now. And I'm like, who can relate to this right now?
No one.
Who in their life can relate to this $60,000 a year glam squad having a mental breakdown about getting in drag for a show you're being paid for?
Well, they'll get her back. We'll talk about that.
They get her back so hard.
Well, Whitney's like, hi, Trixie. We're having full mental breakdowns here. Trixie's like, what? How is this not fun?
This is worse than Alaska on All Stars.
But Lisa's like, finally gets herself together. She's like, I'm gonna do this my way. Morgan, let's do it your way. Right?
I mean, she does. I mean, I'll talk about that more later when she comes out.
But I really love it when Heather was like, should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? And Trixie was like, when you're on your deathbed, are you going to look back and be like, I'm so glad I didn't do more? I was like, that's great advice. That's great advice for everything.
Right?
That's great advice for everything. I loved it. So Meredith is not into the 45-pound wigs, but the other girls who are actually here to do the drag are like, give me the wig.
I want a big old wig.
Give me the wig.
I wanted Heather's wig the most. I think that was the biggest.
So Trixie brings out her drag race crown.
Yeah,
you better pull that drag race crown.
Name drop, girl.
She wants to see the glamour, and there's like crickets. She's like, where's the glamour, girls?
Hello.
So Whitney, a.k.a. Little Girl. She comes out first, looking like a character from, what's that, Mars? Attack on Mars.
Mars Attacks?
Mars Attacks.
You know that Attacking Mars show? What was that movie?
Mars Attacks. And then Monica comes out as Jersey Mariah. She plays it up. I think Monica could maybe handle herself in New Jersey.
I know, that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, dang, Jersey girl.
And then Angie K looks like something on Monsters, Inc. coming out in that green wig and one eyeball.
She comes out looking like Detox.
Anita Invite. Shady.
She can't help it. She can't stop.
Heather K, great Dolly Parton.
Came out at Dolly Parton. That's what I said. Lovely Dolly Parton.
Dolly's pride. And then Meredith comes out. She don't get a name.
She has more eyeliner on, I would say.
You better, Meredith.
More eyeliner.
She did the best she could.
Well, Lisa comes out with maybe slightly, about the same amount of eyeliner on as Meredith does.
This is drag for me.
Her makeup, I did notice her eye makeup does look different than normal, but it's not.
It's not a stretch, but this is where production does her dirty.
They got her back so bad
for being such a drama queen. Yeah.
When they flash back to Lisa Barlow getting ready and Morgan doing her makeup, they use the harshest light with the harshest filter at the most squinty part of the makeup process, and they give her the most unflattering shot. She should have just come out without makeup on. You would have looked better if they would have just left that out.
You know how you don't want to peek behind the curtains? That was a peek behind the curtain, and I was like, ah!
Yeah, it was shocking.
Oh man, that's so hilarious.
So
Mary comes out, but I'm not saying a single thing about Mary. I'm not going to say a single thing about Mary because she will bite my head off.
Hey, she showed up.
She went out there.
And wore very tall heels. Mary wins.
She won. I mean, you won.
But actually, the real winner is Monica. Poor Heather again. She's like, I thought I had the pride dress on and everything. I was a shoo-in.
Girl, you're supposed to death drop out there.
Seriously. Well, they go back in for more food, and there's a very big divide in the room. It's really quiet. Even Monica's like, y'all don't want to come over and play with us? And no one really moves. It's like,
don't be
crazy.
a noodle. Don't be a wet noodle.
So they have 10 minutes to go get ready. Lisa Barlow's like, I'm going to go freshen up.
But did you hear at that part where it's really quiet, and then Mary says, well, everyone's been really quiet to me all day. And then Lisa steps up, she's like, hey, is everything cool? Is everything all right? And she's like, oh, yeah, everything's fine. Don't come up to me and be fake. I'm like, God.
You can't. But it's delicious, isn't it?
I can't handle it. I can't. You cannot win. There's no way.
Well, as they're all freshening up, Whitney is like, she can't get over the fact that Meredith didn't participate. Meredith's the host of this trip, even though you took over the night.
Whitney is always like this. She's always like, you have to throw all of yourself into whatever we're doing, no matter what.
Well, and we're starting to get to liquor o'clock.
That's right.
You know, when Whitney gets to liquor o'clock, she can't let things go. Well, Lisa joins them in this middle of her conversation about wet noodles, not realizing that she's the wet noodle they're referring to.
And another part where Lisa has nowhere in touch with the middle class, lower class, some of the upper class, to be honest with you, where she's like, if a wet noodle is some pretty girl draped in
Yeah.
If wet noodle looks like pretty girl and head to toe Isabel Marant with good makeup, then I'm a wet noodle.
From head to toe, blah, 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 blah. I was like, yes, pretty girl. You better get it, pretty girl. Wet noodles are pretty girls and head to toe.
Her and Jessa will get along great. Their tragedies in life would be comparable.
I'm living for it. Well, on the van ride to the neighborhood, Lisa's like, so what was this wet noodle conversation?
I love it that everybody's having a fun conversation. Everybody's talking about other things. And Lisa's sitting in the background, and you could see it in her head. Wet noodle. What was they talking about wet noodle? Hey! What was that about wet noodle? What's that about? And I'm like, I think you know, Lisa.
She's like,
you have to know.
I can't let go of this wet noodle conversation.
She cannot handle it, but I love her for it.
Well, Monica's like, I'm just shocked that you didn't dress up. And Lisa's like, listen, I'm a team player. I practically went naked to this restaurant yesterday. I've done my thing, and I'm done. The one thing I can't control is the way that I look. But my best is when she's like, I'm surprised you didn't dress up. She's like, I am dressed up. I'm in head to toe couture. I'm wearing beautiful makeup. I was like,
Valentino shoes and beautiful eyeshadow with my Fendi bag.
I am dressed up. I'm in head to toe couture. I got Valentino shoes on, a Fendi bag, and beautiful eyeshadow.
And I was like, yes.
I mean,
Lisa,
Lisa's
that
great with
is-
the comebacks. Monica's like, you didn't dress up. She's like, bitch, I am dressed up. And then earlier, she's like, do you ever shut up? She's like, no, I'm always on play. I mean, she's got a...
Yeah, I mean, Lisa's got the retort.
Monica kind of gets aggressive. She kind of loses control.
Yeah,
and
it's
the rest of the episode is really more Whitney and Meredith and Monica and Lisa. That's really, and then
about how being tone deaf about money
and then of
label
course
whores.
Angie K inserting herself a little bit later. So
Angie peeks in.
So at Street Bar, I think they show a few different bars.
Well,
titles.
they show Hunters. And I know that the Street Bar's right across from that because I've danced at Hunters twice.
Well, in Palm Springs, if you don't know, that whole little street is just
it's
covered
gay.
in gay bars.
I mean, there's more gay people than straight people there, I think.
Yeah, especially on that one street.
At least that street.
There's like one block with 18 gay bars on it. Heather's not drinking.
I mean,
So I get that shot away from my face.
A hair of the dog will make her throw up.
No. So, Mary and, well, before they even get to the bar, Mary's like, Meredith, let me know if it's good to go in.
But I'm not going to go in anyways. Like, you know she's not going to go in no matter what.
Mary, once again, is staying on the van and wants to go to McDonald's. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. I don't know. I guess she probably only got in the van so she could make someone take her to McDonald's when she ditched everybody.
I mean, they're probably like, if you want to get paid for this episode, you have to go to this trip. Like, they're probably like holding money against her or something. Or they have something against Mary that's making her go with them.
Whitney's not letting go of Meredith not participating. Meredith isn't engaging.
Meanwhile, Lisa's...
She's had a shooting headache for 2 days. Here's another reason.
God, here it is.
Yeah.
But also... Lisa says the middle class, they all have $60,000 rings.
They do.
They all middle class, like...
And $60,000 on glam. That's very middle class.
Can't you relate to her? I mean...
100%. I have one.
As we're in our hot closet doing our podcast.
Meanwhile, Mary's like, I'll have a fillet of fish.
She's literally...
And a 6-piece McNugget.
She's telling Clark
large
what she's ordering before they even get there.
But Meredith, once again, just completely loses her control when Whitney's like, so it's someone's sister-in-law's grandson's 3-year-old, and it's a headache, and this and that. And Meredith, I mean, this is kind of hearkening back to, you can leave.
Yeah, Meredith instantly gets pissed off, and she's not having it.
Don't you go there. Don't you go there.
I'm going
You're
there.
a monster.
I am not.
Get out of my face. You are disgusting.
Meredith, you can't do that.
You are
You can't hold
disgusting.
me emotionally hostage.
You take a sick child who will suffer for the rest of his life to weaponize against me? Don't you dare!
But Whitney still doesn't let her go.
Whitney just keeps following her around.
I'm like, girl, it's drunk 30.
And then Meredith starts talking about how she's had a pit bull after her all day, and then Angie peeks her eye in and says, "Did you call me a pit bull?" She literally, her eyeball popped in that scene. Like, you can watch her, like, pop in back in the corner and, like, is somebody talking about me?
And Angie K just starts throwing out insults. But the best one is, you're a trampoline with eyes.
I don't even know what that means, but I'm offended.
No, it means that too much plastic surgery, but I'm like... When you come back this season with your whole face looking different,
honey,
your forehead so tight it couldn't possibly move.
That people are literally drawing you with one eyeball.
Your forehead is so tight that your eyeballs are coming into one.
Don't call somebody else a trampoline, Kettle.
But we love you, Angie K.
Yeah, get it, girl.
But at one point, Whitney's like, Meredith, you don't really want to talk to her that way. Like, she's trying to help. Oh, you don't want to help? I'm like, girl. And
the ladies are kind of like surrounding Meredith.
But now here's again poor Angie K hearing Monica getting confirmation from everyone. Hey, was it right for me to call Angie K Lisa's little bitch earlier? They're like, yeah, that's about right. That's about. And so now
Angie's like.
And then it turns into a weird argument about Jen Shaw that I never really understood.
Yeah, Jen Shaw comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, wait a second.
I feel like Angie K was trying to insult Monica by saying she was Jen Shah's assistant, like being an assistant.
No, well, she said something about get your fingers out of my face, Jen Shah. And so I don't understand
it just
that.
keeps on going, and I thought it was a stupid argument. I thought it was a stupid conversation, and I was like, it's just stupid. But they head to the bus.
I just love it that Heather's just laughing.
Yeah.
Like I forgot that she's there.
She's
just giggling. She's like, I'm sober. I feel great.
But they get back to the bus. It smells like good old McD's French fries. And Lisa Barlow is like, curses to the heavens. Where was my fast food?
Oh my gosh, I need to get out of this fast food closet.
Fast food closet. I don't know what that is.
The hot closet.
It's hot up in here. It's time to get
hot.
up.
I'm cooking. I'm cooking like a fillet of fish. Oh, snap. I don't even know what snap
We'll
that
come
is.
back and talk about RHONY. Bye.
You guys, I'm so upset about my ring.
This is Heather Gay from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and you're listening to the Real Housebears podcast.
Where's my phone?
Probably in the car.
Do you have my phone?
You know I ain't got your phone.
You better not have my phone.
I would never take your phone.
Well, this must be a case of the missing phone.
You know what? You're not. I don't think either of us are all that invested in our phones, like that we would go crazy over not having our phones for 45 minutes.
No, because I do it all the time. I'm like, where did I set my phone? And you do that all the time. You're like, where did I put my phone?
I do. Where's my phone?
Like sometimes we get stuck on our phone sitting on the couch, but sometimes we just.
Most of the time we like hanging out with each other and talking to each other.
We enjoy
and paying attention to whatever we're watching on TV.
Yeah, I pay attention to what we're watching.
Yeah.
Because the Meg 2 is very, very involved, and you have to watch every scene to get the story.
I have ever seen, and you fell asleep, so don't even try.
All right, guys, let's have some fun.
Well, we left off in Anguilla with Uba grabbing Erin's glasses off of her face.
Welcome to Anguilla.
Welcome. And Uba has decided she's going to hold on to Erin's glasses for 45 minutes.
This all sounds like a great idea.
To make up for the 45 minutes without
She needs to be taught a lesson.
I think it's like high school. Like, what are we doing?
But, you know, Erin is pretty shaken. And considering they seem to really be friends, you know, earlier in the season even they had scenes together. I can't imagine why my friend would be behaving this way over something like that.
I don't like the way she handles any type of conflict. I don't like the sight of her, and I had a big crush on her, and I do not like.
I know. I don't know that I still love her. Don't get me wrong.
I still like her a lot, but
I don't know that I'll ever look at her the same again. It was too aggressive for me.
Yeah, it was just too aggressive in a lot of different ways.
I mean,
much.
grabbing someone's glasses off their face is the same as touching them, as far as I'm concerned.
You don't do that. You don't do that to somebody. And also, don't talk at somebody like they're a child, where your word is last and period. Like
especially when you're a foot taller than they are.
She does that a lot. She's like, "No, this is how it is. Period."
Yes. When she's like, "I'm not taking any of it back ever again."
Yeah,
never.
She just it's too much. It's too aggressive. It's too much. There
is something different between being angry and being. Listen, when you're angry, you can be loud about it. You know, you can act out about it, but you can't put your hands on other people
or chase after somebody and get in their face like that.
And then, especially again, if this is my friend over something of just taking my phone for 45 minutes as a prank.
And the fact of it was, she wasn't even looking for her phone. Anyways, there's a part later that makes Uba such a hypocrite as to why she's upset.
Now, Erin, meanwhile, is getting some hard times on the social media because people are like, girl, if this is the biggest conflict you've ever had in your life, but I don't know if this is the show for you.
I know. Well, listen, her other biggest conflict was her child was crying on the plane and she
No, that was an embarrassing moment. That was an embarrassing moment.
Embarrassing.
But you know what? I'm sure that Erin has had shouting matches with people, but maybe, again, people haven't actually gotten so much to where they're taking her glasses off of her face and screaming inches away from her face.
It feels really mean.
Well, do you know what a good idea is when you're all, like, pissed off about that, like, really upset?
Walk away.
No, let's go get rum. Because that's what they go and do. They're like, let's go get rum. And I'm like, this sounds like a great idea. Sorry.
Well, Uba doesn't even drink, but she just keeps getting riled up more and more and more as it goes. Like, she just cannot stop talking about it.
And Bryn is trying to tell Uba, like, when you yell at somebody, you, like, lose the conversation. You lose the battle when you're yelling at somebody about things. So just try to calm down and talk.
And then at some point it turns into how poorly, on the ride to the rum tasting, about how Erin is so mean to Bran.
Bitches and whores. Next question.
And it really is this whole little mini Jeep thing that they're driving.
She tries to get Bryn on her side.
That group, and then Jessel in the back seat, they all end up being very much kind of like very team anti-Erin. She's like rallying the troops.
Like, and Bryn tries to say, like, Uber, you kind of go below the belt. And she's like, no, take that back. I do not. Like, she does not take criticism at all.
Yeah, again, well. I'm okay with getting your emotions heightened when you're angry. That happens.
But respect people the way you want to be respected. That's my issue.
And again, this is your friend. I just don't
like,
get it.
Yeah, I don't get it. This is too much.
Also, I don't get as much also how Bran could stick a tampon up her butthole. Just
There's so many questions.
There are so many questions.
It's comical at this point.
They're like, doesn't it hurt?
Like, Jenna's really perplexed about this.
She really is. They get to Elvis's beach bar. Elvis the bartender, Elvis the bar owner. He makes his own infused rum, which is not the same as moonshine.
What does Bryn say moonshine is? It's like
it's Jessel. It's just like naturally.
It's a natural alcohol, like it's a running river flows of alcohol, and they scoop it up. But Jessel keeps getting passed out during this scene, and I think it's because of the hat and the sunglasses. Because she's got a visor on and she's got sunglasses on.
But it keeps happening over and over and over
by
again.
Sai as well. Sai accidentally does it later. I feel bad for Jessel, but Jessel keeps chiming in here and there with funny things. Like, I'm digging Jessel more and more.
Yeah, I mean, listen, she has such a huge following on social media. Like, there is definitely a huge Team Jess out there who thinks she has risen to the top.
You bet.
And again, she gets to sit closest to Andy at the reunion, so
yeah,
there might be something to that.
You know what your name should be? It should be Queen of Assumption.
Sai sounds like the worst bartender in the world.
The rudest bartender in the world.
I mean, I understand. I've been to gay bars where there's just 30 million almost trying to get a drink, and the bartenders are very overworked, so they don't have time.
And I'm sorry, but like 75% of people out there, especially people that are drunk at the bar, they start their conversations off with, like, what do you want to drink? I'm gonna have, even though I know what I'm getting, I still say that. So if you skip me, manager.
No, well, yeah, so she certainly wasn't a charming bartender, we'll say that. But Sai forgets to give Jessel a shot.
It's just non-stop.
Jessel does try to dress sexy, but she's always still covered. She will show some skin, but if she shows skin here, she won't show skin there. You know? So, earlier in the season when Jess was like, wait, do I not give off sex appeal? Do I not dress sexy? You definitely do dress up sexy, but you're not as, I guess, revealing as a lot of the other women. And that's kind of that's why it doesn't stand out as much.
I get it.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right?
I mean, talking about, like, revealing skin, poor Jenna Lyons, she asked for a long sleeve shirt from the bar, not because she's excited about what the shirt says or anything, or that she's obsessed, what she says she's obsessed. She just wants to cover up because she's around people now.
Yeah.
Again, they're not at their table by themselves. They're at a bar with other people. I hate it that that's always inside the back of her head, that's constantly what's going on with her.
I bet she'll love that t-shirt forever.
She will.
What a memory.
Yeah.
At Elvis's bar. So Uba's timer goes off. Erin gets the glasses back. Erin's like, can you just talk to me like a friend instead of acting like this? And it was like, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, like, if you're not going to talk to me with respect, do you deserve it in return?
And then Uba goes off on how Aaron is abusive to Bren.
And a spoiled brat.
Brings up the social climber comment from a long time ago. Aaron's like, that was forever ago. You and I we've clean slated twice at least since then.
I mean, it doesn't faze Bryn right now.
But it will.
But it will later.
The more the drinks the more the rum keeps flowing. But Erin's fed up. She's
like,
going
I'm done.
back.
I'm going back to the villa. Bye.
But because you can't talk to Uba. Uba only talks at you. She doesn't talk with you.
Yeah. Thankfully, Jenna Lyons follows her.
Thank God somebody did.
But they can't find another bar, so they have to go back to the same bar, but in another spot.
I hate it.
But Uba just, keeps on going and keeps on going.
And Sai's like, you can't lash out at people. And Uba's like, don't tell me to control myself. I don't know what to...
Speaking of labels, they are Bren and a lot of these other women, like the Canal Street sunglasses. Mm-hmm. And is this the right part of the Hamptons? And I'm not going to go to Beep restaurants.
Honey, tell me that you guys aren't social climbing. Like,
all of
each
them.
and every single one of you.
But Uba does admit that she only kept Aaron's glasses because she knew that she had sensitive eyes.
I'm like, that's rude.
But as Aaron and Jenna Lyons are over here kind of by themselves, the women just party.
And they're laughing, and Uba's ranting, and it's just like, nobody cares. The ladies go off in limbo, and nobody once has gotten up and been like, hey, are you okay? And you know what? I would have done that. I wouldn't have stayed at the table because I don't like people that are yelling at me. Right. Or yelling at people at the table. I'm like, I don't need to be around any of that. So I would have left as well with Jenna Lyons.
I would have, if I was Jenna Lyons, I would have left as soon as someone asked me if Bren was my daughter.
Oh, like, rude! I'm done. I'm out.
I'm going to Roy's Bayside Grill.
Remember when you and I were at the gym and that guy came over and he's like, "Oh, that's cool. You guys are like a son-dad team. Or that's cool." And then you're like, "No, this is my husband." He's like, "Oh."
He was kind of blown away.
And we never saw him again.
Maybe he was at Roy's Bayside Grill.
Maybe.
And now Uba is acting the exact opposite.
She's extra.
The party's here.
She's being extra, and you could tell she's being extra.
The party just has arrived.
And Sai's like, you guys, can we please stop this? I just want to have fun.
She's super hungry. She just got from one place to another where she's eating at one, and now she's going to eat at the other, and she's starving.
But Uba's not done, and this is when Jessel starts to jump in a little bit. They want to hold Erin to the fire for everything she said and everything she's done this whole season, and Uba's not going to take one thing back.
Uba's not budging on anything, so, there's no talking about it.
So, as soon as Sai gets up to go to the bathroom and is like, don't fight while I'm gone, Uba just keeps on going. Mm-hmm. And she gets started immediately, and she wants to dig into Erin more, and Erin
mocking
is just
her.
Erin's like, I can't take it anymore.
I
got a car.
Bye.
I'm out. And then we talk about how Uba is super sweet until she's not. Mm-hmm. And we see the flashback of how furious Uba was when she showed up to Jenna's without knowing filming was happening.
And during that scene, Jenna says, I'm sorry. And before she could even get that out, she says, period. And I'm like, I don't like people talking at me like that. I'm your friend. Don't talk at me like that.
Seriously.
I made a mistake. I didn't realize how vain you were. So next time I'll remember that.
And
That's what I would have said.
And I understand that Uba is a model and
I get
how
that.
she looks on camera is super important. I understand all of that. But I find it hard to believe that she didn't know that filming was happening.
I know. Sorry, honey. I'm sorry, but that's don't be rude.
It's annoying and actually quite embarrassing.
Then it does become again, and it is a sensitive subject about what a quote unquote angry black woman is. But I think that even Sai, during her confession, was like, I don't think this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I think that you're really overstepping your physical boundaries. And I know that you're really talking to someone who you consider a friend in a very hateful way and saying all these really mean things about her and maligning her character. This is not you just your emotions being heightened. It's the way that you're treating someone who you consider a friend.
Yeah. I didn't understand the angry black woman, but because I can't identify with any of that. So, but when she said that, I was like, I didn't think that at all about her being black and angry.
No.
I just thought she was being really out of line and rude.
Right.
But you could kind of see that all of this like retaliation from her is kind of some deep-seated issues, because her growing up different than everyone else, she was probably tormented about it, and she had to have a thick skin and defense for that.
Right.
And that's why, she automatically goes to there. I hate this part of seeing this side. It freaks me out because I had such a crush on Uba.
If you can't handle this energy, stay home.
Cy pulls a Hunter Harden. How about them Yankees? Just the other day, you're like, how about them Packers?
I did that in the Hogwarts train when we all sat down with those other people. It was dead silent.
Seriously. But we do get a little bit of a, as soon as she says something, Bren grabs her boobs, talking about a player, a baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
I want Bren's job. She works 10 hours a week. I've read a few sources that she's one of the richest women on the cast.
Yeah, we read that. Like 3 mil against 1 mils.
She works for 10 hours a week.
It's pretty impressive that she is really smart. She went to pre-med, got pretty far, but then she just went into PR and just figured that out real quick.
It was her calling for sure.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Erin is back at the villa, and she calls her dad. Her dad gives her good advice. He's like, just let her talk, but just try to find some place where y'all can, respect each other mutually.
Mm-hmm.
And Erin's like, this feels like 7th grade.
Like, it is 7th grade.
It is. It feels very 7th grade for sure. Even though no one called me Longjaw Silver in 7th grade, everyone's acting as immaturely as someone in 7th grade.
I mean, that Long John Silver story was a better embarrassing story than her kid story.
But, it's so sensitive to her.
It is sensitive.
I mean, I
would be horrified. That I would still look at myself and still be thinking
until
about
the
it.
day I die, I will still be the fat kid that I was called probably in 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Till the day I die, I'll always be the little gay kid that I was called back around 7th grade. So I really, really related to how hurtful that and how that stays with you forever.
Sometimes you're gonna laugh, you're gonna get mad, you're gonna cry.
Back at Roy's, Bryn is dancing on the pole as her alter ego Pebbles. What's your stripper name? Do you have a stripper name?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not my stripper name, but it's my drag name, Crystal Geysers.
Well, that could be a stripper name.
Oh, no, not Geysers, Crystal Geyser. There you go.
Yeah, that could be a stripper name easily.
Yeah, Crystal
or a drag name. My stripper name is Eni Williams.
Well, that's because you play that stupid game where you do your pet's name and then street. Mine would be Penny Probasco, which sounds like another great stripper name.
See?
I'm wet. In more ways than one.
They have a conversation about boarding school, and here's another place where Uba goes, if you put your kids in boarding school, you don't want to be parents. End of story.
Yeah, Uber's...
That's everyone. You can't say that about everyone.
You can't.
Maybe
you could say that about on TV. That seems like that's what it is on television.
I mean, maybe
stuff,
this boarding school offers an education that only you can afford, and for your kid to get.
And from what I've seen from school, some kids are horrible children, and they need to be going to boarding school.
That's true, but I felt that was very unfair.
And some of them probably have magical powers, so they have to go to Hogwarts.
But I like when Jenna Lyons is like, "Listen, my son is the reason why I'm not spoiling him. He won't let me spoil him."
I love it. Listen, Jenna Lyons is everybody.
She is.
She is everybody. Anybody, anywhere can identify with this anywhere.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But what do you think about Jenna Lyons wearing jeans to the reunion?
Get it, girl. Don't stick with your don't conform her.
I mean, someone said on social media that the people who make fashion happen are the ones that make you talk about it, and Russell Waves. It's really hard for me to take. It's really hard
listen,
for me
I can do something. What I can't handle right now is ostrich feathers and nude illusion. I'm done with nude illusion. Done with nude illusion. Stop the nude illusion with dresses. I can't handle it.
Right.
I cannot handle it anymore. I cannot handle it.
Enough is enough.
Well, I do like that Jenna Lyons has stopped worrying about other people's opinions so much and just focuses more on loving herself. And really, again, she really has designed a look all of her own. That's iconic.
like dressing up Rockefeller Center.
Right, yeah.
I mean, she's doing stuff, y'all.
All right, Uba must have finally gotten enough food for the day, so she's starting to come down a little bit. And she apologizes for her behavior. Bren tries to give a little bit of advice, and Uba starts to take it, but then stops to take it.
But it's the same thing that Bren's trying to say either is the message you're trying to say gets blurry when you're yelling and anger.
And then on the way back to the villa is when the tides really turn.
Here we go.
Bren tells Jessel that, Erin talks mad crap about you all the time. She says you're the dumbest one and all these different things. And Jessel's like, oh, I know. I know everything Erin has said about me. Let me pull out my list.
I do love that earlier in this episode, Jessel says, I'm a good friend. I will never say things behind your back or something along that line.
Oh, that she's loyal. That she'll
that
never...
she's loyal and she'll never...
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then she pulls out the list.
When the girls abandoned you for dinner, I stayed. When you said that I'm used to being catered to, F you. You tell me that I came from a rich family? And now I'm dumb? I smart. No, Jessel, I'm sure is smart. She seems intelligent.
These ladies are hyping each other up so hard. I do not want to be on this little cart with them.
And it's funny at the same time. It's horrible.
It is.
But because Erin's not there, it's kind of funny.
But I'm terrified because Erin's going to be home and they're all going to go after her.
Well, they get back to the house. Uba immediately apologizes to the staff for how she left the house. And Erin immediately wants Uba to come and talk to her.
She says, come over and sit down. She says, don't you talk to me like that. Don't you order me. You say it nice. Even though I'm going to talk...
And take your sunglasses off.
But I'm going to talk to you so disrespectfully. It's... Ugh.
Well, they first do establish that they do, in fact, love each other. Mm-hmm. Erin tries to explain to Uba that this was just supposed to be kind of lighthearted. But it was like, listen, I was already thrown in the pool. I thought we were even. And Erin's like, well, no, it wasn't me.
But it was just weird, this part, because Uba says, like, she loved how she threw Erin in the pool and how funny it was, how she looked when she came out of the pool. And then she says, and then you would take my phone because of that. And then you called me a bitch. And Erin's like, wait, what? No, I didn't say any of that. And you just like laughed about how funny I looked coming out of water. I don't know.
This conversation goes south real quick.
Uba is reaching really far with why she's angry.
Right.
At this point, you see her story starts to unravel a little bit.
She mostly now just wants to be validated that she had a reason to be angry rather than for the reasons that she's actually potentially angry.
Yeah. And at this moment... she doesn't have her phone to show her something, and she can't find it. But that's okay. She doesn't have to message her family right this minute, but she is going to later. So whoever has her phone right now will pay the consequences because her phone's missing right now. It's so hypocritical. It's ridiculous. It proves why Erin is so blown away, because how are you so mad at me for keeping your phone for 45 minutes? Thank God that I had your phone in the first place, because you can't even find your phone right now.
Yeah,
I hope to God somebody has
you
it.
left it in a vehicle.
Thank you. It's like you don't obviously really care. What's the real reason why you're mad at me?
Right.
This is tricky.
Well, I think she hasn't been sleeping enough.
Uba's had it.
Well, at the they break for a minute because they need to find the phone. The conversation does not end. They reconvene in the hot tub, and then pretty much everyone except for Sai is going in on Erin.
Yeah.
Bren brings up everything Erin's ever said about her, in particular of what they said to Abe at the ceremony,
and now social climbing as well.
And then Jessel joins in, saying that Erin has never taken accountability or apologized for everything. It's a real gang up. But Erin finally loses her control. I've been here so many times when you have to explode somehow. You have to just make it stop somehow. So you just scream out. Uba doesn't receive it very well. But now Uba's calling Aaron a liar. What is Aaron lying about? I don't understand this.
That she took her phone, that she was a liar, because I think it's a miscommunication thing.
Well, even Bren agrees, like, I do think that Aaron's a liar. And I'm like, I don't really know specifically
I don't
what she's
know. I don't
lying
know.
about. But anyhow, I feel like they're just trying to say mean things. And then Uba even takes back the liar thing either later. Again, Aaron is a bit of a shit stirrer.
Oh, yeah. She's had an issue with everybody this whole
I
trip.
don't find her a liar. Thank God Gina Lyons has work to do. She's like the Mary Cosby. But once Erin really starts crying, once she really has had enough, it's too much.
And this taught me such a valuable lesson.
What's that valuable lesson?
This valuable lesson is, if I cry, I will be able to get my way.
No, that is not the lesson.
This is what happens. Everybody gives up and like stops yelling at her and stuff and gives her a hug.
Well, I mean, she finally did just reach a breaking point. I mean, you're being ganged up on by all of these women you're on a girls' trip with. You are already hesitant to go because there was conflict before the girls' trip. Like, it's just enough is enough. We're here to have fun.
If I don't get size yellow sunglasses, I'm going to be so upset and I'm going to drown someone.
Damn her.
Because I want them so bad.
So they finally do separate one more time, have a real conversation. I was only so triggered because I really care.
Aaron's like, I'm scared of you now.
Seriously, me too.
That's all I got from that little conversation.
And now Uba takes it all back except for the shit stirring.
Yeah.
But did you kind of feel like when Erin finally admitted herself that she is a shit stirrer, did you kind of have like that, good pee moment? You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
I think everyone needed to hear it. And it was also fun to watch Erin kind of laugh at herself.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where Erin is in her siblings' age range. I wonder if she's the oldest, middle, or youngest, because that will say a lot.
Yeah, truly. It's not going to say as much as Bren laying practically spread eagle on Jenna Lyons' bed.
So this part reminds me so much of this past weekend because of what I am so Bryn. I didn't even see this episode. And remember when we got off the Kong ride and I was like, well, I know that wasn't a water ride, but I'm wet. And right here, Bryn's like runs into her. She's like, I'm wet. I'm wet.
So
me and Bryn would get along so well.
Are we even surprised?
Yeah, very much so. Well, Jenna goes to check in on Erin. Erin's like, while you were working, I was being ganged up on. But I think that's probably how you felt the other night when I told everyone that you didn't fly with us because you wanted to fly first class. Oops. But Bren is wasted. She's been drinking by herself. She comes down. Her hair is still kind of wet the way it looks. They come down.
Yeah, I think it's still wet.
They're all talking about going home. Abe is at the Grateful Dead concert, which Jessel thinks is a heavy metal band. Like, why would I know who the Grateful Dead is?
I know.
Well, why would anyone know who the Grateful Dead is?
Well, I definitely know they're not heavy metal.
Right.
I definitely know it's the kind of band that you smoke weed to and do drop acid, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Andy Cohen's favorite band.
Yeah.
And John Mayer has been touring with them.
John Mayer's definitely not heavy metal.
No. So, Cy tells Erin about Jessel's list.
Yes, here it comes.
You know, Cy's good about that.
Spread like a virus.
Bryn comes back down again with her hair done up. She's obsessed with her bangs. She's like, bangs, bangs, bangs. I've decided bangs.
Bangs, bang me, bang me.
Oh my gosh. She forgets Jessel yet again.
Poor Jessel, I hate this.
Jessel does come down in like this gorgeous crop gown, like this big green. It was really, she looked really beautiful. Uba sits next to Erin and they hug it out.
Oh my gosh.
Bren recommends a game, which I was like, oh
my gosh, is it this the end of the episode?
But The game was actually very nice. What was your favorite thing that people wore on this trip? Jenna Lyons had a successful first girls trip. I think America is taking a sigh of relief.
Successful trip. Whew. That was rough. That was a venture.
I mean, it looks like they had some fun. Ended off almost sour, but
it didn't hit Scary Island even in the slightest.
And imagine how much fun they had when cameras went down on that last night.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Well, I hope you all tune in again in just a few days. Like I said, we are going to be interviewing Mr. Aaron Leakey, Abe. We're interviewing him on Monday, so that episode will either go out Monday evening or Tuesday. And then we will be back again with our normal RHONY and Salt Lake City recaps on our normal day, which is hopefully end of day on Thursday of next week.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
I kind of want to tell this story. You can cut it out if you want to.
Okay.
So over this weekend while we're at Universal Studios, there was a new game that we kind of started playing with our friends because our friend told us about this Reddit post about this wife that didn't want to bring her husband to her friend's wedding because he got off, like he got excited from embarrassment. So he will wet his pants randomly to get embarrassed in public. And she didn't
want
his kink. Yeah, and she didn't want to bring him to this, like how rude she is. So we kind of made up this game of like, when is the most opportune time to get the most embarrassed? So like randomly, when we're like at the park or in line, we'll just be like, oh no. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. Oh no, it's all over your shoes. This is embarrassing, you guys.
That's why you brought this story was to pee on camera. Because you have this pee fetish.
Oh my gosh.
Or this embarrassment fetish.
You guys, this is so embarrassing. This is really, no, I just touched you. It's got
now
on you.
This episode really has to end. In the meantime, follow us on Facebook or Instagram. We are The Real Housebears. On Twitter, X, we are Real Housebears. You can email us at therealhousebears@gmail.com.
You can also watch us on Spotify and YouTube. And you could buy merch from our Redbubble site, realhousebears.redbubble.com. Why are you laughing? Because I had to close my eyes?
No, because you put a dot in front of it.
You know what? I don't have time for any of this. Any of your nonsense. Anyways, go to Redbubble and search us, Real House Bears. And you can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts and leave a cute little review and a 5-star rating, we will make you hashtag Housebears famous. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Amazing husband.
Oh, thanks.
You are such a great human.
Is this making up for what you got caught on Mike saying last week?
We'll address that later.